Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now. Hey now. Hey now, hey now. Hey now, hey now. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of The Line. As I get set up, man, I'm running behind. I still got like half the stuff I got to do before the show starts that I ain't done yet. That's how far behind I am. And then on top of that, I think I left my car running outside.
Seriously?
Yeah, because I'm listening to my headphones, and all of a sudden I get here in the studio, and my Spotify connects to my car, and so I'm like, wait a minute, does that mean my car's running? I would assume
Could
so.
be, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I don't know how to cut it off from here.
I don't know if you can cut it off from here.
Let's see if I do.
I know you can remote start it, but I don't know if you can remote stop it.
Let's see if I can do this. Do a little lock and a little.
It's riveting radio.
Let's see if I stopped it. Hold on. If I stopped it, then my music's. Let's see if my music's still connected. Hold on, I gotta do a different song. It says it's still connected. I guess my car's just gonna have to run till a break.
And then you have to go downstairs and manually jump in and turn it off.
Yeah, apparently.
Is it locked?
I can't tell.
Just click your lock a couple of times.
Well, see, what's weird is usually when I hit the buttons, it like the lights will go off. You know, the blinkers will flash.
It may not do that while it's running. I don't know.
My
Every
Lord.
car's different when it comes to that.
What a headache. I gotta go. Now I gotta waste my first break going all the way down to the parking lot.
Son of a gun.
What a nightmare. It's been a weird morning for me. Like I've slept through like 6 of my alarms. So I didn't get up super late, but I was a little bit behind. You know, and you wake up and you're like, crap, and you're a little flustered. It was one of those deals. And I don't know why. Could have been the fact that when I got up, I was like, man, it's a little chilly in here. And I went and looked at the thermostat, and I guess I cut the heat off last night for some reason. And so it was like 57 degrees in the house. And so I was like, well, maybe that's why I couldn't wake up. My body's like, you ain't getting out from under these covers. It's cold out there. So, yeah. Anyway, we made it. We made it right in the nick of time. I came in on 2 wheels, but I made it. I came in so fast, forgot to cut my car off. But we're here. We're here. And boy, we made it. And boy, do I have a lot to talk about today. Do we know why there's ladybugs all in the studio?
I have yet to figure out what the infestation is all about.
Get out of here, buddy. I don't want to hurt it, but I want to be like, go over there. Let's put him on the other side of the table. It's not a he. A ladybug is all females. Is that right?
I don't think so.
Was there male and female ladybugs? Trans ladybugs,
propagate
if you
the
will?
species.
Trans. What if it's a pansexual ladybug? Maybe a two-spirit?
Why not help in propagating the species then?
Yeah. Two-spirit ladybug. All right, let me see. I'm trying to get into my text messages here, and it's not even letting me do that. Hold on. Work with me, cuz. Is the internet running slow today?
No, I'm just having problems myself over here. Like where we set everything up to put it up for podcast.
Mm-hmm.
They've done something to it that I can't figure out.
Yeah.
And right now it's telling me the account is not configured for single source logon or whatever.
That's weird.
So I've contacted support, and I don't know, they'll get back to me sometime next year probably.
I'm sure support will be right on top of that.
Yeah, I'm anticipating a real quick
response. Right after that. Yeah. So as we stated yesterday, man, it's kind of like this time of year, things slow down a little bit, but it doesn't slow down that much. We still got plenty of stuff. I BS'd my way through yesterday's show. I don't really know what prompted that, but we ended up talking about smoking cigarettes for like an hour. And then,
You smoked?
yeah, I did for a long time. Uh, probably 13 or 14 years.
Okay.
I
It's
smoked cigarettes.
about as long as I did.
Yeah. I started smoking when I was 16. And because I was like, man, I'm 16. I can drive now. How cool would it be to be pulling up in the school parking lot smoking a cigarette? Which turned out, by the way, wasn't necessarily cool.
Probably
But,
not the officials at the school.
yeah. I mean, there wasn't a lot of smokers at my school, honestly. I mean, there was a few, but
No, you had a different time.
it was the
We had a smoking patio.
yeah. See, we didn't have that luxury. It was mostly the riffraff like me that were smoking cigarettes. But yeah, I did that through 20. I don't know. I started vaping when I was probably 28 or 20, maybe about 28, 29 is when I started.
So you've been doing that for over a decade then.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. I could quit, but it's kind of like it's like chewing a toothpick, just it's what makes you through your day. And I'm a big proponent of nicotine. I think nicotine really really helps elevate things and boost you. So, I'm not saying one nicotine delivery system is better than the other. I'm just saying nicotine in itself. Oh, I got another. I think I got another Christmas card.
Yep. That's what it
Look
looks
at
like.
that. I'll have to check that. See what's up on that front. All right. Hey, now, roll call. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way before I run out of gas. First off, our early birds. My text line is running really, really slow. So I don't know. Let's see if it'll let me go back. Yeah, the text line's jacked up, dude. Is that same on your end?
No, I can go ahead and do this. Let's see.
Give us the early birds. Who was that first?
Let's see here. Wow, I went too far back. Sorry about that. All right. Early bird, Heath.
Mm-hmm.
Roger. Way too early, Roger. Let's see. Ron Carey, who has gotten real close and has actually been able to choose the song a couple of times.
Yeah, did a good one yesterday.
Just a little bit early.
And so that's our early birds. And for number one, today's song picker of the day on the line, Talk 99.5, it's none other than
Jeff
Jay
from Indiana is what I've got.
Oh, yours says Jeff? Mine says Jay.
Yeah, I got Jeff.
We got a controversy for the first time ever.
I know, competing.
Okay, so yeah, that's crazy. Mine says Jay, and Jeff is the second one on there.
Okay, yeah, those are flipped on my side. Jeff comes first, Jay comes second.
Oh no. That's a problem. That is a problem. All right, so here's what we'll do. And my text line just started working, so that's what caused the issue. We'll let Jay and Jeff pick a song. All right?
Okay.
But this is the only time we're ever going to do this. If we run into this situation again, we're not doing a twofer.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It's a Christmas miracle. You guys, we're going to each give you a chance to pick a song. And if you don't pick it by the time we come back from this break, then you don't get it. So, number 3 is Freight Pilot. Then you got Trent, Jeff with the J's, and Alabaster. You got Scott, Hammermark, Jeremy, Zach, Dexter, Hippie with the J's. You got Brandon and Scott, Odin, Darren, Cherry, Pete, Tony, another Tony, Kenny, Roger. Hey now, everybody. Hey now. Tony said you didn't smoke any of those light and the loafer cigarettes. That's we dubbed Marlboro Lights Marlboro Light and the loafers. Well, when I say we had somebody in the audience do it. And that's what Carrie smokes. So
It's towards the end. That's what I did. I started off with reds, but
really?
I switched over to lights.
I couldn't imagine you being a smoker, dude.
Oh God, yeah.
That's
From
crazy.
15 to
Did your parents smoke?
30. My dad smoked a pipe.
Interesting. So you said, you know what? I want to smoke, but I don't want to smoke a pipe. I'm going to go cigarettes. Or is it
yeah.
convenience?
It was just more convenient.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point in time, being 15 years old, I could still walk into a place, not get carded, and buy a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. I grew
Much
up.
different time, man.
I grew up in a house where both parents were just mowing them down. Ashtrays everywhere, smoking cigarettes. Wasn't no thing. Wasn't nothing but a thing, man. Smoking cigarettes and watching soap operas through the fog of tobacco smoke. That was my childhood. That and watching WCW Monday Nitro. But yeah, so I was like, I smoke cigarettes. Obviously, it's not that bad. My parents are doing it. So I smoked for a while. And I did do, I'll be honest, I did do Marlboro Lights for a while. I think that's actually where I started. And then I moved over to menthol. And then I kind of came back. Well, I guess Marlboro Smooth is kind of where I ended up, which is like a menthol-esque cigarette.
Menthol, okay.
Yeah. So that was my jam. I said yesterday, I'm like, when I see somebody smoking a cigarette on TV, I'm kind of like, I'd like to have one of those. I never do it. And if I did, it would probably make me sick. But, you see Billy Bob Thornton on Landman smoking a cigarette, and you're like, that looks good. I wish I was driving around a big pickup truck smoking a cigarette right now, listening to country music.
I don't know. I don't miss it anymore. There were the first 2 hurdles that I had to deal with were the first time I went to a bar, went out with friends, had a drink, had an adult beverage. That was when you really kind of missed it right off the bat. And then the second time that I missed it was going on a long trip by myself.
Yeah.
But once I got over those 2 hurdles, didn't really bother me.
Ain't nothing but a thing. All right, let's see. So who do we say? It was Jeff and Jay? And Jay?
Jeff's gotten his in. I'm waiting on Jay.
Jay, send it in, buddy. Send it in. What song you want today? We'll put you at number 2. We'll put you at the 10:30. 205-545-9950. A lot to get to today on this edition of The Line. Who is this?
Gentleman by the name of Larry Gross. Song's called Junk Food Junkie.
Oh, Larry Gross. There's been a couple times in this song where I'm like, whoa, get that dump button ready. There we go. We call it a dump bunny. You know, it helps us keep our jobs. So, anyway, all right. If you want to get in on the show, 205-545-9950. 545-9950. Let me start with this. Apparently, there's a manhunt underway. There was 3 Louisiana inmates in a Louisiana jail that have escaped. Now, does everybody recall the first go-round with this? That was out of the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility. Or was this? I can't remember if this was the same jail or if this is a different jail. Because earlier this month, I guess just a few days ago, you had in this particular jail, the Orleans Parish Jail, you had, let's see. I'm trying to follow this. The most recent, from what I understand, the most recent jailbreak that happened on Wednesday, 3 inmates escaped. And the other inmates that escaped, the ones that we remember, the big story was the Orleans Parish Jail back in May. 10 inmates, including murderers, at that jail escaped. At least 11 individuals were arrested for helping the inmates escape. But now you've got another 3 where they've caught 2 of the 3, and 1 is still on the loose. It says 1 inmate from the latest prison break was caught on Friday, and 1 committed suicide during a police standoff. The third is 24-year-old Keith Eli, still at large, and he was serving a sentence for second-degree murder. And listen, if you're in jail for murder, you're probably going to be there forever, right? So why not give it a shot? What do you got to lose? That's what that's got to be the line of thinking of these people, right? Per NBC, authorities hunted Saturday for the last of 3 inmates who escaped from a Louisiana jail after removing concrete blocks from a deteriorating wall. The St. Landry Parish Sheriff said we would prefer that he surrender himself peaceably. Detectives and SWAT officers were following leads Saturday in pursuit of 24-year-old Keith Eli, who remained at large 3 days after he and two other inmates escaped the parish jail in southwestern Louisiana. Eli had been jailed on a charge of second-degree murder. One of the escapees, 24-year-old Javon Joseph, was captured Friday following a brief chase. They said investigators following a tip found Joseph, who was jailed on charges of rape and other crimes, hiding out in a home. Joseph ran to a nearby storage shed where he surrendered after being cornered. The third escapee, 26-year-old Joseph Allen Harrington, killed himself with a hunting rifle Thursday after police found him at a home and used a loudspeaker to urge him to come out. Before his escape, Harrington had faced several felony charges, including home invasion. So that guy, I mean, home invasion's not going to keep you in jail forever. I wonder what his other charges were. I mean, they had to be stiff enough for him to say, you know what, it's better off that I just off myself in this police standoff. But I saw that and I thought to myself, what's going on in Louisiana? What's going on in New Orleans? Where it seems that inmates are able to find ways to escape from jail. And the first thing that popped in my mind was something that we talked about a lot, which is the Alabama Solution, the documentary that everybody needs to watch. I mean, this is such a damning documentary on, in particular, the state of Alabama and how they handle their prisons. But even further than that, once you get into the the later parts of the movie, they start talking about some of the other jails in South Carolina, in Louisiana, in Mississippi, and how deteriorated these places are. It's easy for us as not inmates to say, well, you committed the crime, and if you have to live in squalor and horrible conditions, that's just part of your punishment. And to an extent, I agree with that. But the inhumaneness of what's going on in these jails is a result of politicians and their greediness. It is also resulting in people that should be let out after serving their time being held in prison beyond their release dates in order to keep the free labor and, again, to enrich the politicians. Then after that, you go to the fact that these prisons don't even get maintained. They're dilapidated. They're falling apart, which then results in stuff like this happening where inmates, dangerous inmates, are able to escape and terrorize neighborhoods. Alabama Men's Clinic. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. You need this, especially with this sexy music playing in the background. You need some Alabama Men's Clinic. You need testosterone pumping through your veins, man. You need it pumping through your veins to be a man, to be able to do the manly things that you need to do. You know what I'm saying. You're going to feel years younger if you, in fact, do have a testosterone problem and need that adjusted. You need your levels adjusted. Can't really do that on your own. You can't, take pills and wish it away. You're going to have to get to the pros at Alabama Men's Clinic and let them hook you up with the things that they do. What they'll do is they'll run some labs on you, give you consultation, get you figured out on what needs to happen, and then move on from there. But the first step is that initial appointment, which you can book at AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com, or call them 205-598-7000. 205-598-7000. Make sure you tell them Andrew McLean sent you. That is vitally, vitally important that you do that. So anyway, something's going on in Louisiana. I don't know what it is. I mean, based on the reports of how these guys got out, it seems like it's just, they're not taking care of the jail, and that these inmates are able, these inmates in particular were able to remove, concrete blocks out of the wall in order to create a hole to escape, which seemingly is what happened on the last deal back in May. Remember, they busted out of the wall. I think it was like behind the toilet, and they even wrote on the wall like, "Ha ha, we're gone," or something like whatever they did. They scribbled some stuff on the wall. Then there was another story, and this is actually a case of, somebody getting caught. Let me see if I can pull this story back up. I just had it. And this is something I really shouldn't be talking about the story now. I should save it for like the Wheel of Segments or something. But the headline reads, authorities intercept drone carrying crab legs, Old Bay seasoning, and weed for prison inmates. And it's a pretty impressive haul. I mean, there's straight up a pack of a couple cartons of cigarettes. Looks like there's some steak in there. There's some crab legs, and then a big bag of just tobacco.
Jeez.
Yeah. Lee County, South Carolina. According to a statement posted to X Monday by the South Carolina Department of Corrections, a drone arrived at Lee Correctional Institute carrying multiple items, including crab legs, seasoning, and marijuana. Seems some folks were planning an early holiday Old Bay crab boil and steak dinner along with their marijuana and cigarettes, all dropped by a drone at Lee Correctional Institution. It seems like some folks were planning on an early Old Bay crab boil. It says the image appears to show Old Bay seasoning, Marlboro cigarettes, crab legs, and steak. Authorities did not confirm whether any arrests were made in connection with the incident. Marijuana remains illegal in the state of South Carolina, and possession of the substance is a criminal offense. Yada, 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 yada. But that's a lot. I want to know how big that drone is. Like, you've heard those stories before that, a drone tried to drop some, contraband in a prison yard or whatever. And crab legs. I mean, it's a big pack of steak, too. Crab legs, steak. You had a couple cartons of cigarettes, tobacco. That's a heavy payload.
It is.
And to get that out there, I'm just saying that's not easy. I mean, tobacco for inmates wouldn't be that big a deal if it wasn't used as currency. And the fact that it's used as currency then causes problems, and then people get stabbed and, whatever. And so, but I'm assuming there's some places where you can actually buy cigarettes, like some prisons, right? I felt like there were.
I can assume so.
You know, you can buy a lot. I mean, we've got people that are in prison listen to us because they can buy little, Walkman handheld radios and things of that nature. So that's why we're so big in the prison community, by the way. We're about the only source of entertainment because we're free. Like, all you got to do is have a radio and you can listen to us for free. And so.
Not much free in the world anymore.
No, there's not. But Andrew McLean is. Andrew's free. You can get all the Andrew McLean your little heart can handle. So, anyway, there's that. What else? Donald Trump was holding a roundtable yesterday with people from the economic realm. It was an economic roundtable. It looked a lot like his cabinet meetings, which generally it kind of was a cabinet meeting. But it was all concentrated on the economy. And so he went around and he let everybody speak and everything else. And then he took questions, as he normally does. And one question came from an ABC reporter. And Donald Trump hates ABC more than any other news outlet at this point. He really does. This ABC reporter tried to continue this narrative because I don't know if the left or the media thinks they really got something on the Trump administration or on Pete Hegseth with this Venezuelan boat thing, but they're continuing on with it. They'd be better off just dropping the issue and trying to start another hoax, but they keep pushing for this one, and that's exactly what this reporter did.
Mr. President, you said you would have no problem with releasing the full video of that strike on September 2nd off the coast of Venezuela. Secretary Hegseth now says...
You said that. I didn't say that. This is ABC fake news.
You said that you would have no problem releasing the full bit. Okay, well, Secretary Hegseth...
No, whatever Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He now says it's under review. Are you ordering the Secretary to release that full video?
Whatever he decides is okay with me. So every boat we knock out of the water, every boat, we save 25,000 American lives. That was a boat loaded up with drugs. I saw the video. They were trying to turn the boat back to where it could float. And we didn't want to see that because that boat was loaded up with drugs just like everything else. But every boat we shoot down, and I don't know if you know, we're 92 or 94% down in drugs coming in by the sea. And we're trying to find who are the 6%. Because I don't know, people aren't liking to drive boats right now loaded up with drugs. But every single, think of that, every single boat we shoot out, on average, we save 25,000 American lives. Do you feel okay about that, Gordon?
Keep us safe.
Okay. I know my man. What about you? Are you okay with that?
I'm totally fine with that. Are you committed to releasing the full video?
Didn't I just tell you that?
You said that it was up to Secretary Hegseth.
You're the most obnoxious reporter in the whole place. Let me just tell you, you are an obnoxious, a terrible reporter, and it's always the same thing with you. I told you, whatever Pete Hegseth wants to do is okay with me.
He says, you're so obnoxious. Why are you so obnoxious? ABC's the worst fake news. And by the way, nobody's really keen on driving boats full of drugs towards the U.S. anymore. That's becoming an increasingly unpopular pastime. For some reason, they just don't like to do it anymore. It's amazing to me to go from one extreme to the other. And I'm talking about the difference in administrations from what we dealt with over the past 4 years. We went from allowing countries to not just take advantage of us economically and not just flood our country with their citizens, with the people out of their prisons and their mental institutions. But we used to let things like Chinese spy balloons fly over our country multiple times, fly over our military bases, Chinese businessmen buying land around our military bases, buy our farmland. I mean, we were being raped as a country by our enemies day after day after day. Can y'all imagine? Just go back. It's easy for us to forget about this stuff. Like the news moves so fast. We're past it. You know, it happened. We made a big deal about it at the time, but now it's a new day and we got bigger fish to fry. But we had Chinese spy balloons flying over the entire length of the country. And it wouldn't have even been known if citizens hadn't have spotted it. The government, the Biden administration knew it was up there, but they were just going to be like, well, it's just a hot air balloon. No big deal. But citizens in Montana or wherever it was saw it, and they're like, hey, that's not normal. And then, as a country, we sat and watched this balloon for days float from one end of the country to the other, gathering God knows what kind of information. We did. We were watching it on the news. It was 24/7 coverage. Cameras fixated on it. And not one thing was done until it got to the other side, out into the ocean, and then they shot it down. And now what are we doing? We're blowing up Venezuelan drug boats just because we feel like it in order to protect the country. What a stark difference. What a crazy, insane difference one election makes. And that's something that everybody's got to remember. And it goes both ways. It doesn't just go this way, the good way. It doesn't just go from bad to good. It can go from good to bad. In the matter of one election, the country can be destroyed. I think of the cleanup that the Trump administration had to do day one when they came in, not just within the White House, but across the agencies, in the FBI. FBI having to fire FBI agents who were kneeling over the BLM George Floyd support. Y'all remember that? You remember mobs of people coming after FBI agents, and they took a knee in front of them as if they were bowing down to criminals? Those agents, by the way, are suing Kash Patel, saying that they were wrongfully fired because of their political beliefs. It ain't got nothing to do with political beliefs, Skulls. It's got to do with if you're a cop and somebody is coming up to you to commit a crime or is in the act in the middle of committing some sort of crime and you take a knee, that's just a matter of you not doing your job. A dozen agents complained that almost immediately upon becoming director of the Bureau, Kash Patel began working to terminate all agents who had kneeled in support of the movement. The lawsuit claims agents would not have been fired had they had the same perceived political affiliations as those involved in the January 6th protest. Senior counsel of Washington litigation group told Politico that Patel was guilty of targeting these patriotic and highly skilled FBI agents for purely partisan reasons. I got to imagine that patriotic and highly skilled FBI agents wouldn't have been taking a knee in front of mobs of people. He said these partisan firings are the true weaponization of government. The nation is less safe as a result. The lawsuit goes to detail how the agents were patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. on June 4th, 2020 in response to Black Lives Matter riots sparked by the death of St. George Floyd several weeks earlier. The agents were allegedly confronted by a mob that included hostile individuals and young children. The lawsuit claims that the agents took a knee in a supposed effort to de-escalate the situation. Imagine them coming together as a group. They're like, we're about to get attacked by this mob of very angry people. What should we do? Let's take a knee for George Floyd. It says plaintiffs were performing their duties as FBI special agents, employing reasonable de-escalation to prevent a potentially deadly confrontation with American citizens. A Washington massacre that could have rivaled the Boston Massacre in 1770. Plaintiffs demonstrated tactical intelligence in choosing between deadly force The only force available to them as a practical matter, given their lack of adequate crowd control equipment and a less than lethal response that would save lives and keep order. As a result, as a result of their tactical decision to kneel, the mass of people moved on without escalating the violence. Plaintiffs did not need to discharge their firearms that day. Plaintiffs saved American lives. Imagine cops saving lives by taking a knee. Right. You didn't get fired because you thought George Floyd was the damn Pope. You got fired because you suck as a cop. The Biden FBI was corrupt from the very beginning. After it, and you had already, because it was 2020, you had already had corrupt individuals running the FBI. I mean, this was Christopher Wray's FBI at the time. And there were people, I guess, that maybe during the Trump administration felt like Chris Wray. I remember people saying it, actually. After Comey got booted, Christopher Wray comes in, and everybody's like, kind of like this Christopher Wray guy. And I thought, yeah, I mean, you might want to wait and see what he does. And further into the Trump administration, it began to become more clear that this guy was just a part of the deep state machine. It's also why when Biden took office, all you had to do is look at who got fired or who resigned and who stayed to know where all that was. That was your first indication. And so Biden comes in. Christopher Wray sticks around. The FBI major players stick around. And everything starts rolling. They start locking up people for January 6th. They start doing this, that, and the other. They start targeting, conservatives and Christians. And now we know that they targeted politicians. They were even going through the phone records of people like Lindsey Graham and others in order to get after Donald Trump. All of this goes back to one place, and that is DJT. There's no doubt about it. It's all out there. The evidence is out there. This is not speculation. This is not conspiracy. It's all fact at this point. If you look at the most recent instance that relates to January 6th, this Brian Cole pipe bomber guy, the FBI knew who Brian Cole was, knew him to be the January 6th pipe bomber in April of 2021. Joe Biden had been in office, 3 months? And the FBI knew already. They had done all the research. They had gotten to the bottom of it, and they just let it go. They let it go. In April of 2021, the case team, this is all from released documents. Or actually, this is from the January 6th Select Committee, chaired by Representative Loudermilk, posted its pipe bomb report and compared it to the affidavit released by Kash Patel's FBI. So this is the new January 6th committee. They said in April of 2021, the case team identified a redacted user who was in the area of the DNC at the time. The suspect can be seen on the video footage using their phone. The FBI requested and received the historical cell tower data for the user, and as of April of 2021, the case team was attempting to further analyze the user's movements. It is ultimately unclear what happened with respect to this lead. And when you look at the affidavit released by Kash Patel's FBI and compare it to Biden's FBI reports, it's the exact same thing. All the information that this FBI used to catch Brian Cole, Christopher Wray's FBI did the exact same thing. They knew exactly who it was in April of 21.